Hi guys! Today we're going to try something a bit different. We're going to make planets, but they're going to be Numberblocks planets. So this is based on one of the brand new episodes where you can see it in the Numberblocks. And this is from one of our videos that you can watch now. And you see they've got Numberblock 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it goes all the way up to 20. So this is what the Numberblocks planet should look like. So we're going to do that using our favorite superclay. This is a brand new bag that I bought because we have not used superclay for a while, and this is a foam block, and this is what florists use, and they stick the flowers in to design them. This is about £1, so you can get this from a craft store. And I've also got some skewers here, and these are just kitchen skewers, but you can use sticks or straws because I'm going to balance the finished planets onto here so that they can dry out properly. So let's get started. Open this up. There's a nice fresh bag, and superclay always comes with 12 colours. You don't get loads and loads of each, but it's usually enough for a project or two like this. Oh, it's been a while. So let's look at planet number 1. So I don't know why number 1 isn't red. That would be obvious, right? But it's not red. It looks a bit almost like Earth. It's got a bit of light blue, some green, some dark blue. So let's mix this one up. Okay, so making Numberblock planet number 1. I'm going to use this blue. This is light blue, but it is not light blue. As you can see, it's quite a deep blue, which means we're going to have to mix this. Ooh, squishy with a bit of white. And number 1 planet looks quite big. I don't know if it's because it's the closest one to us, but you know, we'll make it medium sized. Bit of this and a bit of the white. Oops. I've already ripped the corners so we can squeeze this out quickly, like that. Do you know what? I think we might even need less blue than this to make it a light blue. So I'm just going to take a smaller amount because you can always add more, but then you can't take it apart. So we're going to mix this and see what kind of shade of light blue. And then once it's mixed in, the nice thing about superclay is that it's really soft and it's super easy to mix together. I'm going to add a little bit more white, I think, because it's a bit paler. I mean, we don't want to over mix it because of course the plants have this sort of beautiful swirl, and then I can see a little bit of green on there, so I'm going to put a tiny bit of this green because it's quite a deep green. We don't want it too much, just a little bit, like here. And then it has a little bit of a yellowy, orangey, beigey colour. So I'm going to use this one. Oh, it's a bit dried out, that corner, so I'll throw that bit away. Squeeze out some from the inside of the pack. And this is, they call this flesh. It's like a peach colour. I'm going to put this just under here like this. So if I start to pull it, you see it starts to mix in. I think I want this on this outside. It's not going to be perfectly exactly the same, but the colours, you know, the colours will be similar. So let me roll that around, get it nice and smooth. If you want to blend it a bit more, you can pull it out again, sort of like this, and then smooth it round again if you want. And then what I can see is a little bit of deep blue. I want to get the light blue again, just some little stripes. So I'll probably do this. And this is not a very accurate. It's not supposed to be. If you wanted one that looks exactly the same as what they've got, you could always paint them. Use some polystyrene balls and use some acrylic paint. That would look quite similar, I think. And then we'll roll it again so it's nice and smooth. Don't want it to look lumpy. Okay, I think I quite like that. So that can be our Numberblock planet number 1. Let's leave that to dry. Planet number 2 is purple and orange, which makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Because number 2 is purple and orange. So like I said, I think the sizing, I'm not sure about the sizing. I'll just have to guess because we haven't seen the planets really close up yet. And we've got some swirls of purple. A bit more orange, I think. And then let's put some of these bits of purple, but we want to swirl it in like this. Okay. So remember, we pull it this and it swirls nicely, and we don't want to over mix. So don't smush it too much, like that. And then let's Nice and round. And also with the super clay, I've noticed that when you stick the skewer into it, if you decide to use the skewers, you don't have to. It may look a little, it's a bit difficult. You might want to model it around the stick because it collapses a little bit. So see when you do that, it caves in like that. It's flattened, so you want to squeeze it again so it goes to a nice round shape. That's our Numberblocks Planet 2. Oops. Numberblock 3 planet is understandably a blend of yellow and red because that's the colour of our Numberblock 3. So this one looks very yellow and just a couple of swirls of red. So let's get a decent amount of yellow. Oops, okay, that's a lot. That's okay. And this, and I'm going to get a little bit of the red. But not too much. And I'm going to start to blend that in, but we don't want it to turn orange, remember, we just want it to have a little bit colours like that. That's smooth. Number 4 is a really interesting one because it's different shades of green, like dark and medium green, but it's a square planet. So let's get our green out. Now you don't get light green with super clay, so what we'll have to do is take some green and then mix it with white. In fact, I'm not going to mix too much because I don't think that will make sense. So give a good amount of white. And we're going to mix this up, we're going to blend this one in because this is our base, which is the light green. This isn't exactly the same shade of green as Numberblock 4 though, but this is the only green we've got, so we'll have to do, I wonder if we had a bit of yellow, if that will change the shade actually. Let's try a bit of yellow. It becomes more of a leafy green. Oh, it's quite well actually, let's add a little bit more yellow. And this is just because of the shade of the green. If you have the correct shade of green to begin with, then you don't need to do this. You don't need to mix yellow into it. Okay, blending. So if you keep mixing super clay, it blends really, really nicely. But if you want the swirls, like the planet swirls like we do, then it starts looking more like the shade of green. And then, before we make it into a square, we had to add a dark swirl green. So it's probably this one. Maybe across the middle or somewhere. This kind of thing. Because there's different tones of green in there. I'll pull it through. Actually, what we're going to do is we'll get a little bit of the green for the darker toned one. I'm going to mix it with a touch of black. I don't think it's dark enough now. With a little bit of black, because it's very pigmented. And then I'm going to mix that in with the green. It turns into a dark green, like that. Okay. And then I want it to be a swirl middle, something like that, round. And then I want to roll it first so it's smooth. And then I'm going to flatten it into a square shape. So in the picture, it kind of goes a bit like sort of like this, but more diagonal. So how can we do that? So we have to change shape of it. So super clay, you tend to get quite a soft corner, but that's okay, I think. You just have to keep pressing it. That can be our planet number 4, I think. So it kind of looks like this. Planet number 5 is blues, as you can imagine. It's like a turquoisey blue. So I'm going to open up, well, I'm going to use this light blue again, which, like I said, is not a very light blue. It's definitely more of a dark blue, dark royal blue. And I'm going to add some yellow to it to lighten it up a bit. So it's the right tones. It's more of a turquoise. There we go. It's a bit better. And then I think we want to add a bit of light blue. So if I'm going to use more white, we always run out of white very quickly. Why? Everything needs to be blended. So I'm going to add a little bit of this white with a pinch of the blue to make a light blue. Like this. And then I'm going to swirl it together. I might even add a few bits of just white onto it. Blue. Now we're going to make planet number 5, which of course is blues, and this is the regular blue and this is the light blue. You can see they're actually very similar. Nothing light on it. So I'm going to use this blue. We don't have exactly the right shade here, so I'm going to take some of this blue and some of this what they call light blue. And you really can't tell the difference at all between these colours. Very little. So what I'll do is I'll take the deeper blue and I'll take a little bit of the light blue and mix it with some white. Okay, and then we'll just blend those together for number 5, I think, because we're kind of lacking in the correct shade of blue here. Okay. That's a nice shade of light blue. I wonder if we add a little bit of green to this, it might become a bit more of the vibrant blue that we see in the picture. I'm going to add a little dot of green, I think, and just see what happens to it. Let's mix this in. Yeah, it seems to brighten it. Let's do a little bit more green. Like this. See, it's become a brighter blue. Then I'm going to mix some of this lighter blue into it. Too much of that. And I'm going to turn that into our 5th planet. It's quite nice. Look at that. It's quite fancy. This is planet number 5. Planet number 6 is unsurprisingly purple mixed with light purple. And as usual, we don't have light purple, so we have to make it again. I think we might run out of white. I might run out of white before I get to do all the planets, guys. So I'm going to take a little bit of the white with a tiny dot of the purple, and then we're going to mix those together. So we have a really, really light purple, which is nice for the contrast. And then we'll take some purple like this. Mix it up. Then we'll add the bits of the light shading and pull. There is our pretty purple. This is planet number 6. That came together quickly. I'll show you all these at the end. Planet number 7 is of course one of the more colourful ones. You can see there it is there. So I'm just going to use the colours that I can see on here. So first of all, they start with some red at the bottom. So it's, I don't know how this is going to turn out, but let's see. Red. Maybe a little bit more than that, I think. Red. A little bit of orange. So we've got red and then we've got orange. Yellow. Like this. And then we've got some green. I think I'm just going to put them into little sausages like this. Green. And then we've got some blue. Bit more there, and then finally purple. So I'm just going to pull them out like this, I think. Ooh, colourful. And then if I try and keep them, oh my goodness, how am I going to do this? I'm going to try and not mix them around too much, okay? Like this, and I'm going to try, please don't mix too much. And then just from that, rolling, rolling, rolling. It's not too bad, it's not too bad. I can still see some creases. I'm going to keep rolling and squishing, but I'm not going to pull them at all because then the colours will mix too much. Okay? So then you see what we've got here. Ah, there's our finished planet number 7. We've got all the colours. From red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. There it is. I think that's my favourite one so far. Planet number 8 is quite simple. It's like a hot fuchsia pink, which I can't remember. Yes, it is. It's a bright pink. It's not a pastel pink. It's like this, but I'd say it's a little bit darker than this. So I'm going to get this and I'm going to put a little dot of black into it to make it darker, and then it has purple swirls in it. So it's quite simple. But I do think it's a darker shade than that. So tiny dot of black, and let's mix it all up until it's blended in, and then see what shade we end up with. Mix. Okay, this is deeper. Quite nice actually, like a ruby. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a little dot of red to this one. Dot of red to brighten it a bit. This is our base colour, remember, so okay. And then I'm going to get the purple and do some dots of that, some swirls. Not too much, just some little bits. Like that. I'm going to pull it, swirl the lines, and then I'm going to okay, that's planet number 7. Oh, sorry, number 8. Planet number 8. I will show you these at the end. Next up, planet number 9 is another square planet, so it's quite interesting. There's planet number 9 there, if you can see. Okay, so we know what we need to do here is we need to make 2 shades of grey first. So let me grab a bit of this. I'm running out of white, and I need white for every single planet, pretty much. So I'm going to split this, and I'm going to get. We need a darker grey and a medium grey. So the darker grey can have this much, and the medium grey can have a tiny dot. So we need to see the difference, you see. So if we get this piece, well, let's do the smaller piece first and make the medium grey. So that's all we're putting in, and we're going to mix it until it turns grey, which it will very quickly. A very light grey. It's a very light grey, and then get a bit more white, and we do the medium grey. Well, this is the darkest, those are the darkest ones if you ask me, so this can be our darkest shade of grey. A charcoal colour. So we've got those 2 pieces, and then we could just do white at the bottom. I'm definitely out of white now. I hope we can get to 10 at least today. So we're going to do this. That, and then we'll make that to a sausage as well. 1 and 2. And then roll this out, 2. Okay, and that's the general shape of it. So we need to like flatten this. This is probably one of the only ones that we don't need to stretch or roll in any way, because we don't want those colours to mix up too much. And there you go. And that's quite cool. That's planet number 9. Planet number 10, and that looks like, if you can see it, it looks like white and pink, but I don't think it would be. It would be white and red, right? Because that's the colour. So that's what we're going to do. And this is going to use up the rest of my white, actually. So I have to go and buy another bag of super clay. So let's get some of the white. We'll use whatever's left over, which there is not that much. So it'll have to be a small planet. Oh, it's going to be a tiny planet. This, and then it's just swirled with a little bit of red. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that'll be red and not pink, just because it's so far away. Little dot of the red, like this. Like that. Okay, and then that's a nice looking planet. And that will be number 10. So here we go. We've got the finished planets here. They've kind of melted a little bit under the heat, but never mind. So we've got all of them all the way up from 1 up to 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed how these looked. And if you want me to make planets 11 to 20, let me know in the comments. And my favourite one is definitely planet number 7. It's the most colourful. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you again next time. Goodbye!